Hi, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Welcome to your August 2022 horoscope. My name is Cailin, and today I'm going to be covering the major transits for the month ahead using tropical astrology and the whole sign system. I strongly recommend that you watch your horoscope for your ascendant sign first and foremost, and that is because it will be the most accurate for you overall, generally speaking. Having said that, if you're a Scorpio sun, this horoscope will tell you more about your life goals and your career, whereas you Scorpio moon people will find that this horoscope relates more to your family life, your home life, as well as your emotional health and well-being and your living circumstances. So, without further ado, let's get into your horoscope. On the 1st or 2nd of August, depending where you live in the world, Mars is going to form a conjunction with Uranus in Taurus in your 7th house, and this will be at 18 degrees. Now, I covered the Uranus North Node and Mars conjunction at length and in explicit detail at the end of my July horoscopes. So I would recommend that you go back and watch that if you missed it, because that conjunction is setting off a new 15-year cycle for you. So basically, Mars was not exact in that conjunction at the end of July, whereas now Mars has caught up and it will be in an exact conjunction with Uranus. So whatever took place around the 31st of July, this is a continuation of that. And this will go for, the first few days of August, let's say. So because this is taking place in your 7th house, this will have a big impact on your personal relationships of all kinds. So basically, this can impact your romantic relationship, whether you are getting into a relationship or coming out of a relationship. And the same can be said for business partnerships, as well as client relationships and friendships. So for many of you Scorpios, there could be relationships forming, and at the same time, there could be relationships that are coming to an end. Now, because Mars is your ruling planet, I would see this as you being the one that's in the driver's seat and calling the shots. Having said that, Uranus in your 7th house does add this layer of unpredictability within your one-on-one relationships. So for some of you, you could be getting into a relationship really quickly around this point in time. Maybe you haven't known this person very long, or perhaps you have known them for ages, but there's been, nothing between the two of you. And then around this point in time, fireworks are going off. So on one hand, this could be entering into a new romantic relationship. And even if you're already in a relationship, this can see you taking things to the next level really quickly in a way which is quite unexpected. So maybe you've only been dating for a while, but all of a sudden the two of you have gotten engaged. Now, on a different level, the same can be said for business partnerships. Maybe you and a friend have this exciting new business idea and you just get the ball rolling really quickly. Or, maybe you become best friends with someone that you barely know. And essentially, what this transit is indicating is that there's some sort of unpredictable element with respect to your one-on-one relationships. And then there's some sort of quick action and some sort of rapid motion that is taking place within these connections. Now, on a different level, you could be looking at inventing something or engineering something which requires you to engage the services of another person, or you could be trying to sell your idea to another person or an organization. Your ideas could be ones that will benefit a large group of people or a community, or it could be something that is very new and very progressive. Now, it could be that you are announcing a new set of services that you are offering. And again, these could be quite shocking or quite progressive. Just an example of that could be that, maybe you are, telling people that you're now giving astrology readings, because Uranus rules over astrology, and it's not super accepted in the mainstream side of things, although it is becoming more and more acceptable now. Yay. On a different level, Mars and Uranus together can see you maybe culling services that you used to offer. And this could have been like your bread and butter stuff. And the same can be said for products that you sell. Obviously, this part of the reading is focused around business, but just remember that, this is setting the stage for a new cycle that is starting in your life, which will impact the way that you interact with other people, the kinds of people that you're friends with, the kinds of people that you do business with, the kinds of people that you associate with. And on a different note, you could just have like a huge epiphany or a sudden download of information, which directly relates to your business relationship, to a friendship, to a marriage, to a romantic partnership. So this could be quite shocking. It could catch you off guard yourself. And even if you're not taking action on it, just the idea in and of itself could be quite shocking to you, and you might be acting on this later in the month, but stay tuned till the very end, because I will go over that when I talk about the Uranus retrograde transit. Now, on the 4th of August, Mercury is going to enter the sign of Virgo, and it will be transiting your 11th house. It rules your 11th house as it is, and Mercury is exalted in the sign of Virgo. It rules over Virgo, so it loves to be in Virgo in a nutshell. Normally, I would not be mentioning Mercury transits because they're so quick. Mercury changes signs every 3 weeks. Nevertheless, because Mercury is so well placed, I wanted to mention it to you guys. So between the 4th of August and the 25th of August, this is an amazing time for you to network, make new friends, make new acquaintances, be introduced to new people, and make introductions for yourself. And this is a great time to make new business connections and potentially expand your clientele list. So I would absolutely be taking up opportunities to attend a networking event. And on a different note, maybe you're going to want to reach out to someone online, and this could be like a friend of a friend, or 6 degrees of separation. So maybe this isn't someone that you are directly connected to, but you know of each other. Maybe you have mutual friends or mutual connections. And if you were wanting to pick their brains for one reason or another, collaborate with them, do business with them, or, just get to know this person, this would be the time to reach out to that person. Now, the 11th house is connected to your social media platforms. So you may want to spruce up your social media platforms or pages. I would highly recommend that you do so. And also, Mercury is a planet of communications. So if you're, for example, wanting to put up a video on YouTube and have it reach a wide audience, or if you're wanting to go live on Instagram, or if you're wanting to launch a new social media page, Scorpio, this is the best time for you to do so, because with Mercury in your 11th house, all of your online interactions and activity will be very visible, all right, whether you like it or not. So, in that respect, also be careful about what you are putting out there, because this can have a um, this can have like an unexpected impact. And I'm saying this because Mercury rules over your 8th house, which represents sudden reversals. So this is probably not the time to talk about or put up your most controversial, um, I suppose, written pieces or filmed pieces, if you are not wanting to necessarily lose followers. Not telling you what to do, but if your goal is to keep expanding your network more and more and more, putting something up online which is quite antagonistic or divisive may have an impact which is, not what you're after. Just a little word of warning there. On a different note, you can be educating yourself during this period of time about humanitarian issues, cryptocurrencies, marketplaces, the stock market, as well as astrology, technology, and new innovations and inventions. And that is because the 11th house rules over all of those things. And so, you could even be joining a new group or joining a new community, which is perhaps centered around those areas. And this could also be connected to anything to do with the occult. And that is because Mercury rules over your 8th house. Now, on the 11th of August, Venus is going to enter the sign of Leo, which means it will be transiting your 10th house, and it will be there until the 5th of September. So, Venus going through the 10th house is an amazing transit, albeit brief. So, this can see you making connections with people in high places. Your reputation and your status can receive a very positive change. You can be looked upon very favorably and in a very positive light. So, any work, any creative work, especially that you may have done, you might want to put it out there at this point in time because you will be very visible in the public eye. And for many of you, you could be going public with a relationship, especially because Venus rules over your 7th house. And you could even be landing a new work contract, which is also indicated by Venus ruling your 7th house. And the 7th house rules over contracts, and the 10th house rules over your career. This is a good time for you to, I suppose, make an effort to attract the attention of the person that you want. So take that any which way that you will. But let's just say that you want to attract a certain person's attention, and that they're going to be in the same place as you. If you're going to, let's say, an event, or wherever you know that they're going to be, you will get their attention. Okay, so dress up, look good if you're wanting to attract romance into your life. And also, this could see you receiving praise or compliments from your boss or from someone who is at a very high ranking level in whatever organization you are a part of. And this would also be a good time for you to release any kind of artistic or creative work into the public sphere. Or, this could be part of an official release, which is associated with your professional identity. Okay, so on the 18th of August, Venus in Leo in your 10th house is going to make a trine to Jupiter in Aries in your 6th house. And Jupiter will be retrograde at this time, and this trine will be occurring at 8 degrees. So the 10th house and the 6th house are both vocational houses in astrology, so they are both connected to work. So on the work front, this can see you welcoming a new boss into the workplace, and this would be someone that you like, someone that you get along with. With Jupiter being retrograde, this could be someone returning back to this position, or perhaps you had heard that this person was going to be your boss and there was some delay in them coming on board. It doesn't have to be, though. That's just a couple of ways that can play out. For those of you who own your own business or who are in a position to hire other people, you could be hiring employees around this time that you really get along with. And these people or this individual could be someone who perhaps initially declined coming on board, or maybe it's an old employee coming back, or it could just be that that you had heard of this person, or maybe there was a delay in them starting. And again, this relationship would basically see you receiving a blessing on your career. And let me just make that as a blanket statement as it is. Venus and Jupiter are both benefic planets in astrology. So they bring blessings, good luck, good fortune, They are associated with generosity, money, wealth, abundance, and so on and so forth. So many of you will receive a blessing on your career, on your professional status, on your public reputation. And, for some of you, the blessing could come through as being given much needed time off. Or maybe there are child minding services at your work, or maybe someone is helping you to look after your children so that you can advance your career. And the reason I'm talking about children is because Jupiter rules over your fifth house, which is connected to children, and the fifth house is also connected to vacations. So this is where I'm tying in potentially having time off. And on a different level, the sixth house is connected to your health. And with the 10th house representing your career, maybe there is going to be a blessing on your health, which elevates your health, I suppose. I don't want to say status, but your health status can change. Okay, so maybe you were previously in a critical condition health wise, and now you have reversed those effects, and your health status has stabilized. You could come across important new information which helps you to heal or to improve your health. And for some of you, you could be put in touch with a doctor or a healer, or simply someone who has really good advice, which is going to help you health wise. And I'm saying this because Jupiter represents knowledge and information, as well as, a blessing and healing. So this could be someone who is potentially an educated person, someone who has a lot of knowledge, someone who brings a blessing to you health wise, just by knowing them or by engaging the services of this doctor or this specialist or this healer. Okay, so on a different note, Jupiter is connected to teaching and coaching, and this could see you engaging the services of a business coach or of a life coach. So Venus rules over your seventh house, which represents it's a business house, so this can represent engaging the services of another person. And then with Jupiter in your sixth house, this person could help you to overcome health issues, like I said, or bad habits, a negative mentality, and really, working on this to create more abundance in your life, to turn around your perspective, to change you from seeing things or seeing the world as the glass being half empty to the glass being half full. Now, this could totally transform your uh, your public self, your professional reputation or your public reputation. And with the 10th house being connected to your to your highest worldly responsibilities and achievements, even if this isn't coming through as something to do with your career or work, maybe engaging the services of this person, or maybe even receiving free advice, can help you to take things to the next level, to be more respected in society, to be more respected by your peers, to have more confidence in stepping out into being your authentic self and your true self. Okay, so this can really bolster your sense of self-confidence, self-esteem, and self-worth. So it is a very positive transit, as you can see. Once again, that'll be on the 18th of August, plus or minus a day. Venus moves real quick, so the effects won't be felt for more than 2 or 3 days. Nevertheless, you want to capitalize on it. Now, on the 20th of August, Mars, which is your ruling planet, is going to enter the sign of Gemini, and it is going to transit your 8th house. Now, ordinarily, Mars would spend about 7-ish weeks in a sign, but this time around, it's going to spend 7 months in Gemini in your 8th house. And that is because Mars will be having a retrograde motion. So that will be from the end of October through till the 12th of January. So wherever Mars goes, whatever Mars is doing, this is what you are doing. This is where you are going. This is where you are putting your attention and your energy and, what you're focusing on. So the eighth house is connected to mutual resources. It is connected to deep healing, psychology. It's connected to sudden reversals, as well as addictions and fears. So with Mars being in your eighth house for 7 months, whatever you initiate between the 20th of August and the end of October, which is when Mars will go retrograde, this is what you'll be focusing on during the retrograde from the end of October till the middle of January. So definitely pay attention to this transit and whatever you're starting around this time. For many of you, you may be pursuing mutual resources. Okay, so you could be fighting for alimony money, child support. You could be pursuing an inheritance which has been bequeathed to you, but maybe there's a long drawn out process that you have to go through. Maybe you're making some really significant and intricate changes to your situation with joint bank accounts, taxes. Maybe you're focusing on doing a tax return. Maybe you have to prepare a lot of information for some sort of audit that may have come through. Or you could be going through the process of trying to financially support another person. And maybe this is going to last for 7 months. So, on a different note, this can see your significant other fighting for a promotion or trying to generate more income for themselves, which in turn benefits you. They could be going through a big change in their financial situation. Worst case scenario is that your significant other, or maybe even a business partner, could be spending a lot of money. Okay, and now you're trying to I suppose, curb their spending, or that could be a bone of contention within your relationship. Or maybe they have poor spending habits and the two of you are working on this together. Now, on a different note, with the eighth house being connected to the occult and psychology, deep healing, and therapy, you could be going through some sort of intensive transformative healing process. Maybe you're working with a psychologist or a psychiatrist, or it could be that you're working with an astrologer, just as an example. Okay, this shows you being very assertive with your healing process and the healing journey that you're going on. And also, the eighth house is connected to initiation. So maybe you're going through some sort of occult or spiritual initiation process. This could span 7 months. You could go through some sort of intensive training connected to the occult, which again spans 7 months. Or you could be doing some sort of workplace internship or cadetship, which is connected to, again, the occult, or it could be psychology, psychiatry. It could be to do with the stock market or finances. And I'm saying this because Mars rules over your sixth house. So this could be tying work into whatever this transit is indicating for you. Now, some of you may be researching getting some sort of surgery done. Yes, Mars in the eighth house can be connected to some kind of crisis coming up or some sort of reversal happening where, circumstances change really quickly and you're just having to adapt on your feet. Nevertheless, Mars is comfortable in the eighth house, okay? Remembering that Mars naturally is associated with the eighth house and you guys are Scorpios. So I don't think you'll have an issue with Mars being in the eighth house. But like I said, do pay attention to whatever is coming up for you once Mars has entered Gemini. Lastly, with that, you may be doing everything that you can to overcome some form of addiction or to be liberated from some sort of fear that you have been experiencing. Lastly, for the month, on the 24th of August, Uranus is going to station retrograde in the sign of Taurus at 18 degrees in your seventh house, and it will be retrograde until the end of January in 2023. So at this point in the month, I would go back to the end of July / the beginning of August to see what was cropping up for you around this time. Because again, we're seeing that 18th degree in Taurus being triggered, which means that, these themes are recurring. We're focusing on these once again. So this could be you reviewing your personal relationships, whether they are business, romantic, friendships, and whatnot. Maybe you had a sudden epiphany around the beginning of August about what direction you want to go in a business partnership or in your romantic relationship or with a friendship. And now Uranus retrograde is asking you to act on that. How are you going to take that relationship to the next level? How are the two of you going to make sure that your goals are mutually aligned? How are you going to maybe walk back out of this relationship? Maybe you're trying to cut it off. Maybe you had a sudden download of information where you're like, I want to divorce this person. I don't want to be in this business partnership. And now you're having to do the grunt work to make that happen and to, extract yourself from that relationship. And the same can be said for if you changed your mind about how you want to do business, what kinds of services you want to offer, what kinds of clients you want to attract. Maybe now you're having to go through the motions of pulling certain services or products, or perhaps even exiting certain business contracts or client relationships. And so, Scorpio, that's all I have for you for August 2022. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more content on this channel, please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell. Enjoy your month ahead, Scorpio, and I will see you guys in September.